What if you could grab every dream you've ever had, not by chasing fleeting bursts of inspiration, not by waiting for the perfect moment, but by becoming relentless every single day, no matter what stands in your way? Are you ready to stop skipping and forge your destiny right now, or will you let another day slip into a lifetime of regrets? Hey there, friends. It's an honor to stand here with you today. If you're listening, I know there's a fire burning inside you, a hunger to lead a bold mission, make a difference in your community, or live a life that makes your Creator proud. But let me ask, how often have you felt that fire drowned out by the noise of daily life? How many of you find yourselves drifting caught up in TikTok, Instagram, or the grind of societal pressure, just reacting to what's thrown at you instead of shaping your future? I'm here to lay down a hard truth. Your purpose isn't some passing thought, it's a divine command waiting for your obedience, but only you can spark the flame to answer it. Success doesn't come from talent luck or waiting for the right vibe. It's forged in the furnace of relentless action, where you stake everything every hour, every minute, every moment of your life. Most folks never reach their purpose. They let time slip away, swept up in distractions. Small excuses or quiet doubts, thinking one day a sign will flash or someone will hand them a clear path. But here's the deal. Nobody answers your calling but you. In 2025, with social media noise and societal pressure louder than ever, being relentless is your greatest edge. Napoleon Hill nailed it. Greatness isn't stumbled upon, it's earned through disciplined repetition, through unwavering obedience to your aim. You don't need to be perfect or have all the answers just 1 hour a day to obey your purpose. I've seen it, the successful aren't any different from you or me. They don't have fewer fears or smoother roads, they just choose to act relentlessly. They don't wait for motivation, applause, or a clear path, they move, and the universe moves with them. Your purpose isn't a side hustle, it's a sacred mission only you can fulfill. But it won't come to you. It demands you stand up. Face your doubts, push through failure, and reject the easy path. Today I'm sharing a powerful philosophy, 5 steps to make yourself relentless to master your destiny and build a legacy that echoes into eternity. This isn't hype or a quick fix. It's about forging a life of purpose through daily obedience, becoming the builder of your divine aim. These steps will challenge you, demand your grit, and transform you if you dare to obey their call. You don't need to do it all right now, just start moving. Ready? Stick with me, because what you're about to learn will change how you live, how you fight starting today, what's breaking your rhythm. Excuses, mood swings, or just skipping one day too many. What spark will you ignite right now to forge your path? Let's dive into the first step, commit to relentlessness. Ever felt stuck like coins buried in darkness because you keep skipping days instead of locking in relentless action? Picture those moments you're pumped about your dreams, maybe launching a startup, serving your community, or living a life that screams purpose. You feel it deep like a fire roaring in your soul, pushing you to move, but then TikTok, Instagram, or the daily grind dims your drive. You tell yourself, I'll get to it tomorrow, or I need a clear sign to start. You wait, hoping for a burst of energy or someone to say now's the time. But before you know it, days turn to weeks and you're still stuck drifting, asking, why haven't I started? Why do I keep putting off my destiny? Why do I keep giving myself a pass? That's the pain of letting skipped days bury your divine potential of slacking off when heaven's already handed you a mission. I've seen folks like us full of epic callings, but they let moments of hesitation pile up days of just one break stretch on, and their mission gets lost in the darkness of delay. They start with a blazing fire, but soon they're back to scrolling, procrastinating, or convincing themselves it's not the right time. They wait for a perfect moment, a heavenly signal, or a risk-free path, but the brutal truth is that moment never comes, and then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved committing to relentlessness, answering their divine call without needing signs or motivation. You feel that too, right? Being stuck isn't the end, it's your wake-up call from above. Committing to relentlessness is your light. It shines on your divine path with disciplined action. It's not about seeing the whole road, crushing every doubt, or having every answer now. It's realizing your inner call isn't a suggestion, it's a command from heaven, and your commitment is the flame that lights it. Every legend, every game changer didn't wait for certainty. They moved tired, unsure, mocked, because their mission wasn't theirs to question, it was theirs to obey. In 2025, with distractions louder than ever, relentless commitment is your power. Most folks let excuses lead. They skip a day a week thinking they'll catch up, but the universe doesn't move for those who stand still. Your light blazes when you say, I don't need a sign, I'm all in, and I'll act now. That's when you become unstoppable, when prosperity, not just cash, but purpose, grit, eternal impact starts sparking. Why does this matter? Because commitment is the heartbeat of your divine path. Every lasting legacy was built by folks who didn't flake out. They didn't need the world to say you're enough. They vowed to show up day after day until heaven backed them. If you only act when you're in the zone, you'll live a half-built life starting strong but never finishing. But when you commit to relentlessness, you align with your aim. You don't wait for the right mood, you hunger for obedience, a minute of focus, an hour of steely resolve. Just 10 minutes affirming your commitment can turn, I'm not sure, into I'm locked in and I'm moving. When you commit to relentlessness, you're not just living, you're leading. Imagine starting each day asking, how will I obey today? What move will prove my commitment to my divine call? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your mission. You think about times you skipped, delaying, waiting for signs, letting doubt lead, and you say, no more, I'm lighting my flame. That's when your light burns bright, cutting through the darkness of delay. I've seen it, the successful don't have more time, they just know every small act is a beam on their divine path. Committing to relentlessness isn't a burden, it's freedom, a vow to yourself you'll never betray your calling. So how do you start? It's not rocket science, but it takes guts. Today, take 10 minutes to affirm your commitment. Say aloud or write, I am relentless. I don't skip. Feel the power of that vow and jot down your resolve in a journal. No social media, no emails, just you and your grit. Tomorrow, repeat it, noting how your vow grows stronger like a flame flaring up. This week, act relentlessly daily for 7 days, tracking your discipline. Each day, take one small step, maybe 10 minutes toward your mission, or say no to a distraction and log your drive. Don't stop there. Make it your core. Say this affirmation daily like a sacred ritual and review monthly to lock in your fire. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by waiting for signs. They committed day after day until heaven moved with them. You can too. You don't need to see the whole path, just step. You don't need to crush every doubt, just obey today. Then tomorrow, obey again. That's how you light your flame. That's how you commit to relentlessness. That's how you make yourself relentless. So ask yourself what darkness is hiding your coins, excuses, delays, or skipping days. How will you shine your light today? What's one vow you'll make now to be relentless? Your mission's waiting. Will you skip or lead? Now, step 2, defeat emotion. Ever felt adrift like coins fading in fog because your emotions make you skip your relentless rhythm? Picture those days you're ready to dominate, maybe growing your business, serving others, or chasing a life that matters. You start strong, but then TikTok, Instagram, or life's grind stirs up feelings, doubt, fatigue, or just not today. You tell yourself, I'll do it when I feel better, or I'll wait for the spark to come back. But before you know it, one skip day becomes 2, then a week, and you're lost empty, asking, why do I let feelings derail me? Why can't I stick to my aim? Why do I keep letting my mood kill my rhythm? That's the pain of letting emotions fog your divine potential, drifting when you were meant to lead. I've seen folks like us full of grand missions, but they let emotions take the wheel. A tired day, they stop. A moment of doubt, they hesitate. A bit of boredom, they quit. They think, just today, I'll pick it up tomorrow, but one day becomes a habit, and habits become destiny. They start with iron will, but soon they're caught in distraction, procrastinating, or convincing themselves a break's no big deal. But it's a big deal. Every time you let emotions win, you don't just skip a day, you break your rhythm. Defeating emotion is your anchor. It roots your path with unshakable focus. It's not about denying feelings or acting like a robot. It's about mastering your mood so your purpose, not your emotions, calls the shots. Every titan, every eternal builder didn't let feelings dictate their moves. They acted weary, confident, or flat because their aim wasn't up for debate. It was theirs to obey. In 2025, with social media and societal pressure louder than ever, mastering your emotions is your lifeline. Most folks let their mood decide they skip when they're off waiting for inspiration, but the universe doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Your anchor holds when you say, "My feelings don't own me, I obey my purpose." That's when prosperity, not just peace, but clarity, strength. Divine alignment takes root. Why does this matter? Because emotions are fleeting, but your purpose is eternal. Every history maker ruled their heart, knowing feelings fade, but rhythm lasts. If you only act when you're hyped, you're building on sand, your drive will collapse when the mood shifts. But when you defeat emotion, you build on rock. You don't wait for a good day, you make every day count with relentless focus. Just 10 minutes mastering your emotions can turn "I don't feel like it" into "I act for my purpose." When you defeat emotion, you're not just living, you're leading. Imagine starting each day asking, "How will I master my emotions today? What feeling will I push through to obey my call?" You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your aim. You think about times you drifted, letting fatigue, doubt, or boredom lead, and you say no more. "I'm dropping my anchor." That's when your anchor locks in, holding you steady through the fog of feelings. I've seen it. The successful don't have fewer emotions, they just know emotions are waves, and they steer their ship with discipline. Defeating emotion isn't pressure, it's power. A vow to yourself you'll never let your mood steal your divine mission. So how do you start? With a bold choice and real action. Today, take 10 minutes to declare your mastery. Say aloud, "I act despite my feelings. I obey my purpose." Feel the strength in those words and note your focus in a journal. No social media, no emails, just you and your will. Tomorrow, act despite one emotion, maybe tiredness or doubt, and log your progress like you're conquering a storm. This week, master your emotions daily for 7 days, tracking your grit. Each day, spot a feeling trying to stop you. "Not today," or "I'm scared," and act anyway, even for 10 minutes toward your mission. Log how you feel tougher, more focused. Don't stop there. Make it your core. Declare this affirmation daily like a sacred ritual. "I act despite my feelings." Review your journal monthly, noting how you've tamed your mood, how the fog clears to reveal your path. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by chasing emotions. They mastered them, acting no matter the mood, and the world bowed. You can too. You don't need to crush every feeling now, just master one today. Then tomorrow another. That's how you drop your anchor. That's how you defeat emotion. That's how you make yourself relentless. So ask yourself, what fog's blurring your coins? Mood swings, fatigue, or emotional excuses? How will you set your anchor today? What's one feeling you'll conquer now? Your mission's waiting. Will you drift or lead? Hold up defeat, emotion today. Set your anchor. Join ForgeFire. Smash that subscribe button for more tools to forge your relentless path. Turn on notifications. Next, step 3, build structure. Ever felt chaotic, like coins lost in haze, because you've got no daily structure to back your relentless aim? Picture those times you're set to live big, maybe scaling a startup, serving your community, or building a life of impact. You're fired up, but then TikTok, Instagram, or life's demands throw you off. Without a routine, you're a ship without a rudder, starting strong but veering off, jumping from task to task, or worse, doing nothing. You tell yourself, "I'll get organized later," or "I just need a day to chill." But before you know it, chaos takes over, your focus is gone, and you're asking, "Why's my life such a mess? Why can't I stay on track? Why do I keep letting disorder wreck my aim?" That's the pain of letting chaos dim your divine potential, wandering when you were meant to build. I've seen folks like us with epic missions, but they let their lives become a free-for-all. No schedule, no habits, no structure. They start with fierce drive, but soon they're lost in social media, sidetracked by trivial stuff, or just forgetting their goal. They think, "I'll do it when I have time," or "I don't need a plan, I'll just wing it." But without structure, they do nothing. They let disorganized days pile up, turning chaos into habit and habit into destiny. Every time you lack a clear plan, you don't just lose a day, you lose a chance to forge your legacy. And then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved building a structure, making each day a steady step toward their purpose, never lost in the haze again. You feel that too. Right chaos isn't failure. It's heaven's call to craft your rhythm. Building structure is your torch. It lights your divine path with disciplined rhythm. It's not about chaining yourself to a rigid schedule or killing spontaneity. It's about designing your day so your purpose, not chaos, runs the show. Every icon, every eternal builder lived by structure, knowing their aim needed a daily altar to thrive. In 2025, with distractions and pressure everywhere, a solid routine is your fortress. Most folks let chaos lead, they wing it hoping for breakthroughs, but the universe doesn't reward randomness. Your torch burns when you say, "I won't let disorder steal my aim, I'll build my rhythm." That's when prosperity, focus, strength, divine order takes root. Why a torch? Because structure channels your fire. Every history maker ran their days like a tight ship, knowing chaos kills dreams, but rhythm builds empires. Without structure, you're fighting with one hand tied, your energy's wasted on reacting. But with structure, you're locked in, ready to dominate no matter what life throws. Just 10 minutes designing your day can turn "I'm lost" into "I know my next step." When you build structure, you're not just living, you're leading. Imagine starting each day asking, "How will my structure guide me to my aim today? What rhythm will keep me on track?" You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your plan. You think about chaotic moments, days with no plan, distracted by social media or doing random stuff, and you say no more. "I'm lighting my torch." That's when your torch blazes, shining through the haze of chaos. I've seen it, the successful don't have more hours, they just know a designed day is a step toward their mission. Building structure isn't a cage, it's power. A vow to yourself you'll never let chaos rob your divine purpose. So how do you start? With a clear choice and real action. Today, take 10 minutes to plan one daily action, like waking at 6 a.m. or spending 10 minutes on your goal. Sit down, grab a pen, and write. What will I do today to keep my relentless rhythm? Note it in a journal, feeling the focus as you lay the foundation. No social media, no emails, just you and your structure. Tomorrow, stick to it, logging how you hold your rhythm like a torch growing brighter. This week, build your routine daily for 7 days, tracking your flow. Each day, follow one planned action, waking on time, writing your aim, or working on your mission, and note how you feel organized, driven. Don't stop there. Check your habits weekly, spend a few minutes reviewing how you stuck to your plan, tweaking what's off and reinforcing your rhythm. Monthly, revisit your journal, seeing how your structure becomes a fortress, shielding your purpose from chaos. Think of folks you admire, they didn't win by winning it. They designed their days, held their rhythm, and the world bowed. You can too. You don't need a perfect schedule now, just start with one action, one habit today. Then tomorrow, build more. That's how you light your torch. That's how you build structure. That's how you make yourself relentless. So ask yourself, what haze scatters your coins? Chaos. No routine or distractions. How will you light your torch today? What's one habit you'll start now? Your mission's waiting. Will you flounder or lead? Step 4. Harness momentum. Ever felt stalled, like coins swept away by a storm because you're not harnessing the momentum of relentless repetition? Picture those times you're locked in on your purpose, maybe growing a venture, serving others, or crafting a legacy. You're rolling your rhythm strong, each step pulling you closer to your mission. But then TikTok, Instagram, or life's curveballs break your flow. You skip a day thinking it's just one time, no big deal. But one skip leads to 2, then 3, and before you know it, your momentum's gone, your progress stalled, and you're asking, why can't I keep the ball rolling? Why do I let skips kill my drive? Why can't I keep my fire burning? That's the pain of letting broken rhythm dim your divine potential, letting the storm of interruption snuff out the power you were meant to multiply. I've seen folks like us with epic callings, but they let small disruptions, a busy day, a minor distraction, or thinking a break's fine, destroy their momentum. They start with explosive speed, but soon they stop waiting for motivation to return or thinking they can restart from scratch. But every time you stop, you don't just lose a day, you lose the built-up power that could have carried you through any obstacle. They let skips become habit, and habit becomes fate. Every time you don't harness momentum, you don't just slow down, you push yourself further from the legacy you were sent to forge. and then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved harnessing momentum, letting each small repeated action stack into unstoppable force. You feel that too, right? Being stalled isn't failure, it's heaven's call to keep your rhythm. Harnessing momentum is your brick. It builds your divine path with compounding strength. It's not about big wins or flashy moves, it's about stacking small, relentless actions so they grow into a force nothing can stop. Every trailblazer knew one action repeated daily builds power like a snowball, rolling downhill, getting bigger, stronger, unstoppable. In 2025, with distractions and pressure trying to break your flow, momentum is your weapon. Most folks lose steam, they act for a week, then stop expecting instant results or skip a day and think they'll catch up. But the universe rewards those who stack their wins. Your brick is laid when you say, I won't break my rhythm, I'll keep stacking. That's when prosperity, impact, strength, divine legacy rises. Why bricks? Because momentum compounds your power. Every history maker built by repeating small moves, knowing each action added weight to the next. Without momentum, you're starting over every time your progress stays small. But when you stack actions, you build a fortress unshakable no matter the storm. Just 10 minutes repeating a small action can turn, I'm trying into, I'm building a legacy. When you harness momentum, you're not just living, you're leading. Imagine starting each day asking, what brick will I lay today to keep my momentum? What action will multiply my strength? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your rhythm. You think about stalled moments, skipping a day, letting distractions interrupt or stopping because results weren't instant, and you say no more. I'm laying my brick. That's when your brick stacks up, building your path through the storm of disruption. I've seen it, the successful don't have more chances, they just know every repeated action is a brick, and they never stop stacking. Harnessing momentum isn't pressure, it's power. A vow to yourself you'll never let interruptions rob your divine mission. So how do you start? With a simple commitment and real action. Today, take 10 minutes to repeat one small action like affirming your goal or doing a quick task toward your mission. Sit down, do it, and note the spark of momentum in a journal. No social media, no emails, just you and your flow. Tomorrow, build on it, logging how your rhythm grows like bricks piling up. This week, repeat it daily for 7 days, tracking your momentum's rise. Each day, pick one small action, 10 minutes on your goal, reminding yourself of your mission, and note how you feel stronger, more driven. Don't stop there. Track progress monthly. Spend a few minutes reviewing how your repeated actions stack, tweaking if needed, and reinforcing your rhythm. Log how each brick makes your fortress taller, tougher. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win with random acts. They stacked small bricks day after day, and the world bowed to their accumulated power. You can too. You don't need big wins now, just repeat one small action today, then tomorrow repeat again. That's how you lay your brick. That's how you harness momentum. That's how you make yourself relentless. So ask yourself, what storm's sweeping your coins? Broken rhythms, skipped actions, or lost flow? How will you lay your brick today? What's one action you'll repeat now? Your mission's waiting. Will you stall or lead? Hold up, harness momentum today. Lay your brick. Join ForgeFire Hit. Subscribe for more hacks to forge your relentless path. Turn on notifications. Finally, step 5, rise from failure. Ever felt crushed like coins scorched in fire because setbacks make you want to quit your relentless mission? Picture those times you're all in on your purpose, maybe leading a bold project, serving others, or crafting a life of eternal impact. You're giving it everything, your will like steel, each step a brick toward your legacy. But then a setback hits a deal, falls through, a goal flops, or a day everything crashes. TikTok, Instagram, or societal pressure piles on, whispering, you're done, or this isn't for you. You feel burned, like your efforts turn to ash, saying, this ain't worth it, or I can't keep going. Suddenly your divine mission feels impossible, like it's gone up in flames, and you're asking, why do setbacks crush me? Why do I let failure break my rhythm? Why can't I get back up? That's the pain of letting failure torch your divine potential, faltering in the fight you were sent for. I've seen folks like us with epic callings, but when setbacks strike, they let it define them. A plan fails and they think, I'm not good enough. A rejection lands and they believe this mission's wrong. They let bad days, mistakes, or criticism drown them, retreating to safety, scrolling, delaying, or convincing themselves, maybe I should settle for less. But settling doesn't forge a legacy. Settling doesn't craft greatness. Every time you let failure make you quit, you don't just lose a chance. You lose the strength to become who you're meant to be. And then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved rising from failure, turning setbacks into fuel, standing stronger to pursue their mission. You feel that too, right? Being crushed isn't the end, it's heaven's call to rise and obey. Rising from failure is your forge. It shapes your divine path with unbreakable grit. Setbacks aren't your end. They're raw steel the Creator uses to forge you tougher. Failure's part of the divine road, but it doesn't own you unless you let it. Every legend faced flops but kept obeying, rising stronger each time. In 2025, with doubts and distractions everywhere, relentless grit is your shield. Most folks let failure break them, taking hits personally. Quitting thinking a flop means their aim's wrong. But rising from failure turns pain into power, mistakes into lessons, failures fire into fuel. Your forge blazes when you say, I fell, but I'll rise and obey harder. That's when prosperity, resilience, faith, eternal legacy takes hold. Why a forge? Because failure sharpens you. Every history maker got knocked down but got back up knowing setbacks weren't defeat. They were the forge shaping their mission. If you let failure stop you, you're surrendering your aim, your legacy stays ash. But when you rise, you're forged into steel, unstoppable no matter the heat. Just 10 minutes reflecting on a setback can turn, I lost, into, I'm being forged. When you rise from failure, you're not just living, you're leading. Imagine starting each day asking, how will I rise from failure today? What setback will forge me? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your mission. You think about moments you broke, quitting after a flop, letting pain hold you back, and you say, no more. I'm stepping into my forge. That's when your forge fires up, shaping you through failure's heat. I've seen it, the successful don't fall less. They just know every setback is a hammer strike, forging their mission. Rising from failure isn't pain, it's power. A vow to yourself you'll never let mistakes steal your divine call. So how do you start? With a new mindset and real moves. Today, take 10 minutes to reflect on a recent setback, maybe a missed goal, a rejection, or a day it all fell apart. Sit down, grab a pen, and write, what did I learn? What's this teaching about my mission? Note the lesson in a journal, feeling the strength of turning pain into wisdom. No social media, no emails, just you and your reflection. Tomorrow, apply that lesson to a new move. Retry a failed task, or tweak your approach and log your progress like you're getting tougher. This week, persist through setbacks daily for 7 days, tracking your grit. Each day, pick a moment you feel defeated, a small mistake, a rejection, and write its lesson. Note how you use it to move forward. Don't stop there. Keep a failure log, a place for every flop, big or small, and its lessons. Monthly review it, analyzing how you've grown, how failure's sting fades. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by dodging failure. They fell, rose, learned, and obeyed harder. You can too. You don't need to avoid mistakes, just learn. You don't need to win every time, just rise today. Then tomorrow, rise again. That's how you step into your forge. That's how you rise from failure. That's how you make yourself relentless. So ask yourself, what fire's scorching your coins? A setback, rejection, or pain from a mistake? How will you fuel your forge today? What's one lesson you'll pull from a flop now? Your mission's waiting. Will you crumble or lead? Friends, we've just walked a sacred path, 5 steps to make yourself relentless, to unlock your infinite potential and craft a life that echoes into eternity. Committing to relentlessness lights your guiding flame. Defeating emotion drops your anchor of focus. Building structure burns your torch of discipline. Harnessing momentum lays your bricks of compounding strength. And rising from failure forges your unbreakable grit. Each step's a spark, each action a hammer strike, each moment you refuse to skip a brick in your eternal legacy. Take a second to feel that power. Every time you commit, master your mood, or rise from a fall, you're not just inching toward your divine mission, You're forging a life worth living, a story heaven will honor. Success isn't a single shining moment or a miracle from above. It's the sum of days you obeyed, hours you gave your all, minutes you chose the hard path to heed your Creator's call. Most folks never touch their divine mission. They let time slip lost in TikTok, Instagram, or societal pressure, living without rhythm, without fire. They wait for a heavenly sign, worldly approval, but no one comes. They wait for the perfect moment, but it never arrives. But you're different. You know these 5 steps aren't just words. They're a blueprint for a sacred life, a compass through 2025's noise, a torch, lighting your way to boundless prosperity. The successful don't have more hours or fewer hurdles. They choose differently. They obey every day, every hour, every moment. They forge their legacy one strike at a time. You can too if you step up. I'm throwing down a challenge. Pick one step. Commit to relentlessness. Defeat emotion, build structure, harness momentum, or rise from failure. Lock it in daily, not just when it's smooth, but when it's rough, when it burns, when the world says stop. Start now. Take 10 minutes today to act. Declare a bold affirmation, plan your day, or learn from a setback. Track your wins, not to brag, but to remind yourself you're obeying. Find a friend, mentor, or community to keep you sharp, to remind you why you started. Build a world where failure's not the end, but fuel, where doubt's not a barrier, but a brick to step over. How's that feel? As you shove noise aside, push through doubt, and forge your mission, you'll stand taller, prouder, stronger than ever. In 2025, when everything's trying to derail you, you've got a shot to shape your legacy, to live a life not just successful, but deeply sacred. 1 hour a day isn't just time, it's your furnace where you forge lasting value. You don't chase success when you obey. Relentlessly, heaven brings it to you. But it starts now, not tomorrow, not next week. Right now you decide, will you obey or let your mission fade? Need more sparks? Join ForgeFire. Subscribe for daily fuel to keep your fire blazing. Drop your mission in the comments, hit that button, and turn on notifications to never miss a chance to rise. Picture 1 year from now, standing unshakable, your life a masterpiece forged by daily grit. By every doubt you crushed, every setback you rose from. Not by luck, not by chance, but by your relentless obedience. You're clearer, tougher, more confident, not just for what you've achieved, but for who you've become. You're not just living, you're leading, inspiring those around you, leaving a legacy heaven itself will honor. You're the craftsman of your mission, shaping it from obedience's fire, from persistence's furnace. But this legacy doesn't just happen. It demands you obey not just today, but every day, every hour, every breath you take. You don't need to be perfect, just show up. You don't need all the answers, just step up. And when you do, you'll see nothing, no doubt, no failure, no obstacle can stop you. Your mission isn't just for you, it's for the person you're becoming, the legacy. You'll leave the story, you'll tell heaven. So ask yourself now, what'll you obey for today? Which step will you pick to start? Commit to relentlessness. Rise from a flop. What move will you make right now to forge your legacy? Feel that fire inside you. Your mission's not waiting, it demands you obey today, now. Will you back down or lead act? Now your eternal legacy's waiting to be forged.